Raptors have now won 3 straight games as they're now 4-1 on the year with the 125-113 victory over the Detroit Pistons at Scotiabank Arena. But before we talk about that, got to give a huge shout out to Toronto FC for beating Atlanta United there this evening in Atlanta. No one expected it, and they're moving on to MLS Cup final against the Seattle Sounders, the team they faced. Toronto FC has been there now 3 of the last 4 years, and so has Seattle. So it's going to be a rematch yet again. And both teams are 1-1 against each other. So it's going to be crazy. Sunday, November 10th is the MLS final. If TFC does win, you'll be seeing a video up for myself, as you saw back a couple of years ago when they won it as well. But a big, huge shout out for them. No one expected them to beat New York FC last year, or last week actually. And no one expected them to beat Atlanta United there this evening. And they did both. 1 and 2 in the Eastern Conference, gone. And Seattle upset Atlanta United. So it's going to be, they upset LAFC. You can tell I haven't kept in tune with soccer a whole lot, but incredible job by Toronto FC today getting the job done. Now let's flip to the Raptors, because what a basketball game. I mean, really, they played an incredible game today against Dwayne Casey's Detroit Pistons, who with Kawhi Leonard, maybe didn't play in every game, but with him on the roster, lost every single time they faced Detroit. This time, they beat Detroit by 12, like I said, 125-113, and Pascal was the difference maker. The team was great overall, but this guy took over late in that third quarter. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So in the first quarter, Raptors played great. All-around ball. They give up 28. That's not too bad, but they score 37. Ball humming, knocking down shots, looking great early on. OG's got a huge presence early in the ball game. Great job there. Then in the second quarter, kind of a back and forth game, but the Pistons are plus 3, 30-27. Raptors are still up by 6 at the break. I think it was 64-58 at the break. Big offensive game for the Raptors there early on. And it continued in the third quarter. Like I said, Raptors were plus 10 in the third, 37-27, including Pascal with 19 third quarter points. He was spectacular, was Pascal, knocking down big shot after big shot late in that third quarter, because any type of run that Detroit was thinking of throwing there late was shot every single time by Pascal Siakam and the Raptors. It was incredible. It was magical to watch, and the Raptors were up big there. And the Raptors were only -4 in the fourth quarter, but at that point, you were up by quite a bit anyways, and the Raptors still win by 12, even though you don't see many of the main guys there late in the game, and they make a little comeback, but it doesn't get below 10. You're fine. You get the W. Amazing game by the Raptors in both aspects of the game. Yeah, you gave up 113, but really, it never felt like this game was in question at all. Yeah, early on, it was kind of back and forth, but you really felt like the Raptors really never lost control of the game, and they really looked strong, especially offensively. You want to hear these numbers, because I didn't talk about numbers last game because they weren't really, above and beyond impressive. Today, above and beyond impressive. This Raptor team shot 59% from the field. Almost 60 for the game. You see that in a quarter sometimes. You sometimes see that in a half. But not for 48 minutes. Incredible. They shot 48% from 3, 13 for 27, and they only got to the line 12 times, but they were 10 and 12 for 83%. The Raptors did an incredible job shooting the ball today. Yeah, I mean, obviously 125 points, that's going to do it for you. But the fact that they were shooting at such a skilled rate, such a high rate, it was incredible to watch this team ball. I know we talk about no having Kawhi Leonard and the expectations are lower, obviously a lot lower than last year. But you got to remember, all of this team is the same for the most part. There's a couple guys who are gone. But this team is taking the next step. You're seeing Pascal, he is surely taking that next step. I mean, my goodness, last year, always saw corner threes from Pascal. Anytime you saw a three, other than a corner three, he was missing them. I don't know what his percentage was from beyond the arc, in other spots, but you saw him today, knocking down some couple shots. He was on ISO, and he just chucks up a three and knocks it down. When he's hot, he is red hot, and he was really ice cold to start the game. Missed the first 3 shots of his game, and he still shot 13 to 21 for 61%. And he missed his first 3. You can tell that tells you right there how hot he got after that. And that was incredible to watch from Pascal Siakam. Now, rebounding, minus 8, but I mean, you expect that with a guy like Andre Drummond on the other side. He had 22 rebounds. You kind of expect that. Offensive boards, 11-3 in favor of the Detroit Pistons. But again, how many offensive boards did Drummond have? He had 8 of the 11. So, I mean, that's just what you expect, again, on a big guy like Andre Drummond, who's a guy who can't shoot the ball for his life, but he'll get on the inside. He'll do his work down low. Raptors had 30 assists. What? We talked about it all preseason. We've talked about it early on this year. Ball movement has to happen for the Raptors to win ball games. And they had 30 assists today on 51 field goals. A really good job by the Raptors moving the basketball. And the defense, and the Raptors did an amazing job defensively. You know, what was the story that we've been talking about throughout the preseason, even the first, 3 games of the year? Turnovers. That was a huge number. There were huge issues. 14 today. I think that's the lowest we've seen this season so far. And it just looked clean. They were playing clean basketball. Things were going very well. The points off of turnovers, this is the key. You were plus 6 in the turnovers category, plus 19 in points off of turnovers. They had 20 turnovers leading to 29 points. Raptors had 14 turnovers leading to 14 points. The Raptors did an amazing job tonight. You know, I thought they were really good. I mean, yeah, were there things that I was a little iffy about? Maybe, rebounding. Yeah, maybe a little bit. But when you have a guy like Andre Drummond, who not many teams have that kind of guy in this league anymore, a guy who just rebounds, dunks, works in the post, basically an old school big man, you don't usually have that anymore. You have the guys who are versatile, who can shoot the 3. You don't have those types of rebounding and paint guys. You don't have that anymore. And Andre Drummond's an old school kind of big man, but he puts up the numbers. That's why he's a mainstay in the league. So, I thought they did an incredible job. I mean, the biggest lead for the Raptors were 22. Their biggest lead was 4. I mean, it really wasn't much. It might have been early on in the ball game. That was it. You know what I mean? They just looked really strong all together. Now let's go through the numbers here real quickly. Pascal Siakam, 30 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. Like we talked about, 13 to 21 from the field, 1 of 1 from the line, and 50%, 3 of 6 from 3. He had a couple steals in the ball game and was a plus 20 on the floor. Like we said, Pascal went to work, and that's just what he did. I mean, that third quarter, obviously, over 19 of his 30 points were in that third quarter, but it was huge. They made that little push at the end of the second quarter to make it only a 6-point game, but to have Pascal out there and knock down 19 of his own, 19 of the 37 in that third quarter, it's massive, and he was huge. All right, OG Anunoby kind of slowed down after the start he had, but a really good game overall, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, had a couple steals, plus 19 on the floor, and OG Anunoby the defense that guy's bringing here early in the year is beyond phenomenal. His on-ball defense is just incredible. His active hands when a guy has the ball is just remarkable. And his ability to even block a shot is incredible. And OG has looked fantastic here early on. He had a couple steals once again in this one. I don't know. OG is impressing the heck out of me night in, night out. Marc Gasol didn't shoot a lot. He only had 6 points, 4 rebounds, couple assists on 2 of 3 shooting, 1 of 1 from the line, and 1 of 1 from 3. So overall, the shots he took, he was making them. But he only played 15 minutes. He got in foul trouble early on, and Ibaka just kind of went to work. He was doing a great job out there, so they left him out there. And Gasol in the 15 minutes he played was a plus 11 anyway, so he did a really good job. And Fred VanVleet, 13 points, 11 assists, double-double for Freddie. Shot 5 of 9, much better there. 2 of 2 from the line, 1 of 3 from 3. He had a steal in the game, plus 21 for Fred. He's just going to do his work, and you saw him feeding Pascal quite a bit in this one. Those two guys are good buddies. They were teammates down in the 905 when they were there. They're guys who are going to ball for years to come in Raptor uniforms, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Lowry, 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. Shot 7 of 13, 4 of 5 from the line, 2 of 6 from 3. Had a couple steals. Great job by Lowry, plus 13 on the floor. He's just going to do his thing night in, night out, guys. Get used to it. People are saying he's old, the contract next year is stupid, blah, whatever you want to say. Lowry's going out there and balling here early in the year. Now, obviously, you want to see it late in the year in the playoffs, but we were seeing right this second, in the now, as you're supposed to live life in the now, and in the now, he is playing fantastic. I love what we're seeing from Kyle Lowry. And the bench, it was a big question mark move. The last few games or so, they haven't done a whole lot. And to see guys, Ibaka's been decent. He hasn't been bad. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't been a guy who's been terrible. But he hasn't, had a 25-point game, as he's not going to. But, Ibaka, has been so consistent this year. Let me just say that. I mean, let me go through the games here we've talked about real quick. The only single-digit game he had was the last one against Orlando, but he put up 10 rebounds as well. And, he had tough time shooting the ball, but he did a great job. I mean, Ibaka's just done really good things. And you could say that Orlando game was his worst game of the year. He's had 19 points in this game tonight, 19 points, 6 rebounds, couple assists, had a couple steals. He looked really good tonight. And in the other game, Chicago, he had 18, Boston 13, Pelicans 13. He's been in double figures every game. And for Ibaka, that's what you want to see. And I love what we saw from Serge Ibaka in this one. And oh my, I just got an update. The Washington Nationals took a lead. Oh, so that's going to be crazy to see how that game finishes out in the World Series there this evening as well. And Norman Powell, a guy we have not seen at all have a good game this year. Struggling shooting, kind of forcing things. We said in the last video, what did he do today? He didn't force things. He let the game come to him. He shot 7 of 10. He had 19 points, had a rebound, shot 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 2 of 3 from the line, had a couple steals. It was a great night for Norman Powell. I was really impressed with him. And guys, if this is what's coming off the bench, again, the Raptors are an extremely deep team. But I got to say, if I'm talking to Nick Nurse, I want to see a little bit more Terrence Davis and Matt Thomas, excuse me. Yeah, Davis is struggling the last couple of games, but you got to give this guy some time. And for Matt Thomas, he came in one game where it was actually meaningful, and he was lights out from beyond the arc. You got to give a guy a chance. That's my opinion there on Matt Thomas. I think he's done a really good job in the very, very limited time that he's had. But he's looked really good, and I've been very impressed with him. And Patrick McCaw, I mean, guys, he played 23 minutes today. He's just going to go out there and do his thing. I mean, Patrick, he only had 5 points, 3 boards, couple assists, but he shot 2 of 3, was 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, and he had a steal in the game. And yeah, he was minus 10. But again, Patrick McCaw's guys, he's going to grind. He's going to fight every possession, and that's what we love to see. The effort tonight from the Raptors was incredible. And that's been the problem with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Effort. You haven't seen a lot of it. And tonight, and all the games you've seen so far this year from the Toronto Raptors, they put in a ton of effort, and they got 4 wins. Now, people could say, well, teams playing aren't the greatest. The record is 4-1. That's what matters, people. Oh my goodness, the score is 158-158 in the Rockets-Wizards game. Excuse me. And it's not even overtime yet. Excuse me, that's incredible. Now, for the Raptors, as I just said, no teams haven't been very good that you faced lately. Well, that changes Saturday. The Raptors head to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks, a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals last year where the Raptors were down 2-0 and then won 4 straight to knock out the Milwaukee Bucks and head on to the NBA Championship where this occurred. And, look, they're going to want vengeance. They're also going to want vengeance from the Boston Celtics who, I mean... Today, Milwaukee was up big at halftime and blew it and lost by 11. They were up big. I think they were up by, 15. They were up by 16 at the half, end up losing by 11. A terrible second half for the Bucks there in Boston. And for Milwaukee, they're going to be on a back-to-back. They play Orlando on Friday, then they come back home to take on the Raptors. So it's going to be a very interesting game there on Saturday for the Raps. 8 p.m. tip-off there in Milwaukee. All right, so guys, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hit the like button if you guys know this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the Raptors play. Who's your MVP? I mean, Pascal Siakam. End of story in my opinion. But who's your MVP in this one? If you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the Raptors play overall, and what are your expectations there on Saturday against the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. It's going to be a very interesting test and kind of a statement game. Kind of see where the Raptors are at here early in the year. All right, Twitter is down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition. Won't be till Saturday as well. I mean, look, there's nothing tomorrow. There's nothing Friday. Nothing on Halloween. Hey, for anybody going out trick-or-treating, be safe. Have a good one. Get as much candy as possible. Have a good time out there tomorrow for Halloween. And the Leafs take on the Flyers in Philly. 7 o'clock puck drop there at Wells Fargo Center on Saturday night. Frederick Anderson, Brian Elliott are the expected goaltenders in that game on Saturday. And as for the Raptors, as we've talked about, they take on the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee on Saturday. 8 p.m. tip-off as the Raps look to go for their 4th straight victory and to beat one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys then.